our next proof that we're going to talk about is this proof that talks about the parallel lines and how we're going to use the parallel lines to help us out. So let's go ahead and set up our statements and reasons. Okay, and just like in our other proofs, we're going to start with the things they tell us to begin with. So the first thing they tell us is PQ is parallel to ST. And if you are having a hard time with either the symbols or any of our statements for our reasons, I would recommend you make some flashcards and practice those so that you have those memorized. You're going to need them. They're words that are new words, and they're ones that you have to remember. They will come up on both the ACT and the SAT in your future, and often they come up on the Compass test as well. Okay. The reason we know that those two are parallel is that it was given to us. And since we wrote that these two are parallel, we should mark something in our triangle to that effect. So I am going to use my parallel symbol and show that PQ is parallel to RS. So I have used this first set of information, but normally they don't give you information unless it's going to help you with your proof. So that's going to help us prove that either some angles are congruent or there are some sides that are congruent. So I'm going to start by highlighting those two parallel sides. And then it doesn't matter whether I choose QS or PT as our transversal. I'm going to say, let's say QS. Okay, so QS is our transversal. Notice that I have one angle that's created by those highlighted lines here. So PQR is one angle. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that angle. And then I've got another angle created by those highlighted lines as TSR up here. And remember when we were talking about parallel lines that if we have angles on opposite sides of the transversal, that those are going to be alternate. So I'm going to go ahead and write down, even though I haven't made my statement yet, that I know they're alternate, and they are between the two parallel lines. They're on the inside of the parallel line, so I know that they are alternate interior, and I can abbreviate that as ALTINT. And then let's come back and write our angle congruent statement. Since there's only one angle here at angle Q, I can abbreviate and only use the angle Q. And we know that it is congruent to angle S. And the reason that we gave for that was alternate interior angles. We haven't used all of our given information yet. So the next thing we're going to use is that side PR is congruent to side TR. And our reason for knowing that was they gave it to us. So I'm going to come back up and find side PR and mark that congruent to side TR. But right now I only have two pieces of information. We need one more piece of information. And I know these two angles that are right across from each other have to be congruent. So we can go ahead and mark those, and they should have two angle marks since we've already used one angle mark. And so now we need to name those angles in each triangle. So angle QRP. Since the R is where that angle is, it's the vertex where the angle is, that's the letter that should be in the middle. Oops, that should be a P, not a B. Is congruent to angle SRT. And our reason for that is those are vertical angles. Right? So now if we look at each triangle, we have 3 things marked. Notice that in this triangle, the side that is marked is not between the 2 angles. So we're not going to say that this is angle, side, angle because this side isn't marked. What we have here is angle, angle, side. Or we could have said side, angle, angle. Either way. So let's name our first triangle. This triangle, I'm going to start with Q, angle Q, and then go to angle R, and then end at angle P, and that's congruent to, oops, that should be a triangle. Triangle. Since I started with Q, this time I have to start with its congruent partner S, and then go to R, because the R's are congruent, and finish out at T. And the reason we discovered that they were congruent was angle, angle, side.